topic is about finding your voice at work. So, in your background, what are the key characteristics of the current workplace environment in Asia that make it difficult for the employees to speak up?
I think maybe there's a few factors. Currently, the workplace in Asia, some workplaces maybe they have very clear hierarchy structure. There is a bit of a power dynamic. People have titles and their status. Usually, perhaps there's a packing order. So if you have not reached a certain status or positions, you may not in a position you want to speak up or encouraged to be speaking up. The other circumstances, characteristic might be the culture of the workplace. People just don't feel safe to speak up. There's a lack of trust. So that's also contribute for making employees, having difficulty to speak up. I think the third characteristic might be disengagement. Recently, I conducted a workshop and the team would say that even if they speak up, they feel, what they say didn't matter. They were not being heard, so then they just gave up. I think it's a disengagement at work. So I think these are some of the characteristics. It makes it difficult for people to speak up.
You have mentioned the cultural, so have you ever experienced the people in your team, they have different culture and they don't understand each other?
Yeah, I do think so. Sometimes it's the language, sometimes also our inherent cultural background, being Asian. I think a lot of us were taught, to be humble. That's our quality, right? We certainly respect the elderly. We wait for our turn to speak. I was taught that way when I was young. You have to wait your turn, and then and we were told that we shouldn't talk back, right? It will be impolite. So some of these traditional values and beliefs, sometimes it does get in the way for us to speak up in the workplace in Asia or being Asian.
Yeah, okay. In your opinion, so how can employees voice their opinions without offending their boss and co-workers?
Yeah, I think speaking up is about communication. So for communication is all about connecting with your audience or know your audience. So I think first thing you have to know your bosses or your colleagues, their communication styles, when they want to be communicated, how to be communicated. Is it one-on-one? Is it with a group? Or, how they want to receive that information. And sometimes is what type of information they need to receive, how, when, how much. So I think people need to build on their communication skills, having communication structure, having, understanding, listening is a communication skill, how to deliver the message. It's also a skill, so that without offending or without making people feel uncomfortable about the message.